All right, welcome back to Understanding English Grammar. I'm Mark here with Kenny, and we are halfway through the sentences for practice with Chapter 9. Now, Kenny, this one's going to mess you up. Why?
Because having isn't the verb.
Okay. What looks like a verb up here? They're all over the place.
Having, planning.
Okay, all these things are going to mess you up. Now, if you see having, this looks like a sentence now.
No.
What do you do every time you see an ing?
Look for the be in front of it.
Is there a be in front of this?
No.
So it's not a verb. This whole collection of words here is then, it's not a clause. It's something else. We'll save it for later. And that should help us. There's another thing we could save for later. What is that?
The for Maria's first day.
All right, now what is that? We'll save that for later and that for later. Boom, that's easy now. Who's the main character?
We.
Okay, and what are we doing?
Starting.
We started. You want to be starting something?
Guess we'll be starting something.
That was a real dad joke, wasn't it? That was terrible. What is the something that we're starting?
Planning the menu.
All right, and this looks like the verb, but you said it's not. Why not?
Because it's a gerund.
And there's
It's a something and there's no be in front
There's no be in front of it, so it's actually, an ing is a thing, it's called the gerund, right? And this is a pattern 7 gerund, because we're planning something. What are we planning?
the menu.
All right. Okay, we started this thing, planning the menu. Now we have this here. Is this telling us about us, or when we started, or how the planning worked, or what type of menu it is?
It's telling you about the menu.
Which menu is it?
The menu for Maria's birthday party.
Okay. That could have been why you did the planning. It's not a big deal if you were in that gray area. That leaves us with this, the invitations having been sent. Your mind will tell you it's a clause. It isn't a clause because, as Kenny said, there's no be in front of this. What are we left with?
Invitation.
What is this?
It's head word.
It's the head word, okay? So, invitations. And you have a post noun modifier. What kind of invitations are they?
The invitations haven't been sent.
The ones that have been sent, right? And that whole thing is your participle. And together this is called what?
Together it's called a sentence modifier.
It's not modifying us or how we started, it's all of it. The invitations have been sent. What type of sentence modifier is it?
An absolute phrase.
Absolutely. Head word, post noun modifier. Say it at home. Head word, post noun modifier is an absolute phrase. Can you say it for us, Kenny?
Head word, post noun modifier.
If you have a head word and a post noun modifier, that's an absolute phrase. Let's go to number 7. All right, quickly, we have our prepositional phrase. Here, is this a verb?
No.
It looks like one to me. Why is it not a verb?
Because there's no be in front.
No be in front of it. Okay, so it must be doing something else. That leaves us with this subject and verb clause here, and Jennifer did what?
She stayed
Pattern 6, right. Where?
in bed
Time and place. Time.
all day.
Okay. Not all. All is not a preposition. All is a determiner here. All day. Okay, and what are we left with?
The fever getting worse instead of
Okay, guess what? What's fever?
head word.
What kind of fever is it?
The fever getting worse.
Okay. Instead of better. Is that right? Getting worse instead of... Oh, that's wrong. This is a weird compound subject complement. Let's do it like this. And this is a conjunction here instead of. All right. Head word, post noun modifier. What's that called?
An absolute phrase.
Okay, it's not modifying Jennifer, it's modifying the whole idea of her staying in bed all day, her fever getting worse instead of better. Let's look at number 8, shall we? Can you read that to us, brah?
Yeah.
What's it say?
The giant redwood woods boomed majestically, their branches floating in the sky above us.
Okay. This looks like a verb again. It's going to mess you up. Is it a verb?
No.
How do you know?
Because there's no B.
No B in front of it. That leaves us with loomed here, right? So, what'd the redwoods do? Pattern 6, right? What kind of redwoods? Redwoods? The giant ones. And now we're left with this. You should start to be picking these out a little better. Remember how hard it used to be to find the prepositional phrases? And then a little ways down the road, oh, there it is, I could see him, I could see him. You're starting to be able to see, what's this thing?
The head word.
Head word, you see a head word, participle. Absolute phrases aren't always modified by participles, but often they are. So you start to see these more clearly the more you practice. And which branches are we talking about?
The ones filling the sky.
Okay. And that's a pattern 7, right? Sky, how are they filling, which sky was it?
The one above us.
Okay. There you go, and this is called,
Oh, you forgot the
which one?
determiner for sky.
Oh, for sky. Nice catch. I forgot the determiner for sky. Shut up, kid. What's this called?
It's an absolute phrase.
All right.
There's, head word and post noun modifier.
And it's there. Where do we put the dots?
Nowhere.
No, because it's modifying all of it, not just one little piece of it. All right, let's travel across the room here. All right, now let's go to number 9. You got me? All right. Read that one to me, please.
Luckily, Sunday was a nice day, so we didn't miss our weekly hike.
All right. And our main clause is kind of easy. What do you see?
It's Sunday was day.
Pattern.
Pattern 3.
Yeah. Now phrase 1, now phrase 1, right? What kind of day is it?
A nice
Day. All right. Now, you might have put luckily as an adverbial here. If that's what you decided to do, that's legal, all right? But as a sentence modifier, it might make a little more sense because it's modifying the whole idea. So not a big deal there. And now we're left with this. What is this thing called?
clause.
What kind of clause?
Subordinate.
It's a subordinate clause. How do you know it's a clause? Subject
Verb.
and predicate, right. This is actually a pattern 7 thing, right? Now, normally, again, your subordinate clauses are going to be adverbial. If that's the way you did that here, particularly with a be verb, not a big deal, that's okay, all right? But if you want to diagram it as a sentence modifier, we didn't do what?
We didn't
Miss what?
hike.
Or hike, right, that's a pattern 7. And then if you decide to do it as a sentence modifier, You do have the dots up to the subordinated conjunction, and you just leave it right there, and you're saying it's modifying the whole idea. Again, if you did it adverbially like this, that's perfectly okay, all right? They're just giving you another option for where to put it if it seems like it's doing more than being adverbial.